Oy vey. A Jewish Rhapsody. This is the true story of the Jews' exodus from Egypt. For who knew? Don't ask. Folks, this is an audience participation bit, so I need your help. So when I point to you, you all respond by saying an enthusiastic oy vey. So let me hear you say an oy vey.
Oy vey.
Not bad. Give me another one, like a little more juice, okay?
Oy vey.
Oh, that's good. So this is what the Hebrews were facing if they could escape from Egypt. And this is the nasty guy who ruled over them. This is the true account of the Exodus. We're gathered today to celebrate the release of the Jews from a place of hate.
Oy vey.
Now, the Pharaoh was a real asshole. He had no heart, he had no soul.
Oy vey.
He made them work all day and night, and a rotten life was the Hebrews' plight.
Oy vey.
The Pharaoh's joy was to make them suffer, till they all cried out, "Oi, we've had enough of."
Oy vey.
He made life tough, but what could they do? Well, maybe look around for a super Jew. Now, there was a man, his name was Moses. He was a real sharp guy, nobody hoses. So they went to him to make a deal, but soon found out he's no schlemiel. And he said to them, "Are you guys nuts? You'll never be free from that no-good putz."
Oy vey.
But they yelled and they screamed till his brain was like unsteady. And at last he said, "All right already." Now, Moses demanded a lot of dough, and he pushed for the title of CEO. And he asked a lot, but they wore him down, and he finally agreed to get him out of town. So he went to see the great Pharaoh and begged him to say, "You all may go."
Oy vey.
But the Pharaoh laughed at this old gray Jew. He said, "I'll let you go, listen to this, when my balls turn blue."
Oy vey.
So Moses prayed to the man in the sky to lend a hand so the Jews won't die.
Oy vey.
The Lord's response was not so vague, and he sent the Egyptians plague after plague. But the Pharaoh still withheld his consent till he got a sign that was heaven sent. He awoke one morning to an awesome view. Between his legs, he had balls of blue. "Moses," he cried at the top of his voice, my curse came true, so I have no choice." He said, "Go take the Jews out from my land, and for 40 years may you roam in the sand."
Oy vey.
So the Jews all fled under Moses' command to seek at last their promised land. And their hearts filled with joy, no more forlorn. But the king reneged, and he filled with scorn.
Oy vey.
And he called his soldiers to give them the news. He said, "Right out to the desert and bring back those Jews."
Oy vey.
Now, Moses had led the tribes to the sea, but if they could all cross, they would all be free.
Oy vey.
It was then he turned, and with much dismay, to see the king's men rushing his way.
Oy vey.
Turning his back to the sea, he stood quite tall. He braced for the fight, not willing to fall.
Oy vey.
He slowly bent over and mightily farted, and thank God in heaven the Red Sea parted.
Oy vey.
Quickly, he urged all the Jews to follow through the water that now was a big dry hollow. But hot on their trail, the soldiers on horse were eager to nab the Jews for their boss. But lo and behold, when they entered dry ground, the water collapsed and the king's men drowned. And that, as they say, is history. It's a fabulous tale of our legacy. And you know, life could be better, it could be worse, and God forbid you're sick with a full-time nurse. So, let's face the future and a bright new day to live out our lives in the very best way. And you should live and be well and have a ball. And please shop at my store in the Topanga Mall. That's all, folks.